about time.
And we're back! All Flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 is the top 5 Keanu Reeves movies. After John Wick 3 just premiered this past weekend, beating the crap out of Avengers, it was time that we needed to give some love to Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. And last time when we posted a top 5 film, I thought about it and I was like, does Matrix count as body swap? Because technically they went from one body to another.
You know what? Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it was a virtual body, but it doesn't really.
What about Johnny Mnemonic?
Johnny Mnemonic. Ah!
Terrence, go first.
Previewing my list here. Let's see. I'm gonna start with obviously I love Keanu Reeves, so I didn't even have to think too hard on what I was gonna put in my top 5. Though I feel like maybe I should have thought more about it because I'm sure I'm gonna miss something that I probably should have added to my top 5. But with that being said, number 5. Number 5. We're gonna go with Devil's Advocate.
The Devil's Advocate, great freaking movie.
Great film.
Pacino, awesome.
Pacino was probably the better part of that film than Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves played a big part into it, and it was different for me seeing him on screen. It was more dramatic with that little core element with the whole devil and things like that.
Right.
And it was more like, did The Firm come out before this?
Oh, what?
The Firm. With
The Firm, yes it did.
Okay, so I was thinking of like when I saw this film, this was more of a supernatural version of The Firm.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like I like what he did within it. I like the play on good and evil and making decisions and stuff like that, you know, and how it played out. But to be honest, Pacino was the biggest part of that film. But Keanu Reeves did hold his own, playing on screen with Al Pacino. Did I say Keanu? Al Pacino.
No, yeah, right.
Okay.
Keanu playing with Al Pacino.
I thought I said it in my head. I thought I said it wrong. But him on screen versus Al Pacino, it worked well. I really enjoyed this film.
I thought it was great too. It's more like if Gordon Gekko from Wall Street was the devil.
There you go.
And Keanu was Charlie Sheen. There you go. It's Wall Street with the devil in it. But then you throw in Charlize Theron when she was really young and amazing looking. So and spot on acting. I mean, you saw the potential in her with what she was going to do or where she was going to end up because she was so good in that movie.
Yeah, you thought her hotness was like, oh man, she's going to do all these great films going forward. The future, she was going to be like one of the top leading women action stars.
I have a feeling they're going to be in another movie together, and guess what? They were in another movie together.
Oh, there you go.
Sweet November.
All right.
Anyway, go ahead.
Nobody saw that but you.
Number 4.
So number 4, I went, and this is kind of more nostalgic pick.
Bill and Ted's.
No.
No, okay.
No. I went with Speed. Because that's really the only one that he was in.
Okay.
Because he was. But I went with the first Speed because the whole bus thing, even though it was only 55 miles an hour and not letting it, but it was like him and Sandra Bullock interacting on screen, and you know him and he was getting out of his whoa moment. And Bill and Ted was gone, and Point Break was gone, and this was more of him trying to be an action star at that point. But I mean, their chemistry on screen worked well. The aspect of the movie was really exciting. 55 miles an hour for a public city bus, I don't think can really happen in real life. But they made you believe it, and it could jump off a bridge onto another bridge. He sold you on it. Maybe I should give that to the special effects people, but Keanu Reeves did a good job. This was a fun movie to watch, and he was in it.
Okay, number 3.
Number three. All right, so this is where we get to the nitty gritty. These are films I really love. Here, Constantine.
Constantine, DC movie.
Yeah, DC. And when I watched it, didn't even know it was based on a comic book, and I'm a comic book person.
Doctor Strange in Hell.
Yeah, Doctor Strange in Hell. That is a great analogy, sir. Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange in Hell. I was about to say Doctor Strange go to hell. Doctor Strange in Hell. That's really good. I love the fact that they took the Constantine character from the comic book, because I found out later, and then I was like, oh, well, let me look, and I was like, oh, he looks nothing like the comic book character.
No,
because the comic book character is British and blonde. And I was like, how the hell did they cast him for this? This is kind of like 47 Ronin, and
they were Bill and Ted's fans.
This is the last samurai.
the last brother starring Tom Hanks.
So, but this film is very entertaining. The CGI was great. Keanu Reeves sells you as that don't give a F person on screen and still having the power and the knowledge to be able to fight this. Who's the guy who plays Lucifer?
I do not remember Constantine that well.
Oh wow, he's in John Wick. He was in the second John Wick at the beginning. He was the dad. Oh, okay, never mind. Obviously, you didn't see John Wick 2. But
John Wick 2.
that's what that told right there. But anyway, he does a great job. He always talks about the Baba Yaga. That was from John Wick. But he's also he was a club owner from.
Why don't I just look
No. He was a club owner from Bad Boys 2.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about? The club owner from Bad Boys 2?
Stromae was Satan in. Then you have Gabriel, who was Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, I remember that.
Balthazar was Gavin Rosdale.
Yeah.
Diamond Hansu was.
No, I guess it's Peter Stromae.
I guess so. It was Stromae.
Yeah, Stromae. And it's like, anyway, he did a great job. Keanu did a great job. Keanu, like, this is, and what's funny, I'm gonna say this, like, in a comic book film, he showed me some range. He showed me some.
You know what? If Ledger can show you some range as a Joker, he can show you some range in Constantine.
All right, so anyway, I love this film. I will always, this is one of my films where no matter where it's at on TV, and there's very few films that I have like that. This is one I will watch this film no matter where it's at in the film. Okay. All right, so.
What's that?
No, that was 3. So number 2.
Number 2.
Speaking of number 2, we're gonna go with John Wick. Dose.
John Wick Chapter 2. Okay.
Yes, because it is better. It amped up John Wick 1, or John Wick, the first John Wick. It amped up the first John Wick.
Not seen that movie.
I have no idea how you're a person that believes in watching movies.
I am awful.
We talked about this before. So
I remember names.
Yeah. Nobody remembers names. Nobody needs to know names.
The guy, that dude, that fucking dude.
It was in the thing that did the thing, and it was there, and then they rolled credits. So John Wick 2 was great. One, because it gave you more of a look on who. Oh, and I know the first one was kind of sappy, and they made the whole killing about the dog. This was about, hey, John Wick's back in the saddle. He's gonna become an assassin again, and he's like, get his car back first. And then he's back in the game. And back in the game is like Bad Boys 2 instead of over Bad Boys 1. We're like, oh, now we back at it. And he's like, we got our stuff together. But anyway, John Wick 2.
That rant alone.
John Wick 2 is a great film, and it's the best one of the John Wick franchise. After seeing John Wick 3, it is the best one that he did. And it revitalized gun fu. That's what I want to say.
Gun fu.
Gun fu. You've never heard that before?
No, yes I have.
Like with the Raymond Chow films and the Chow Yun Fat films.
Raymond
Chow.
Killer.
Raymond Chow is a producer. The Chow Yun Fat films. That at that era was gun fu, and Keanu Reeves brought it back.
I agree.
All right.
Agree.
Okay.
All right.
So number 1.
Number 1.
All right, so this is probably going to be the most predictable one of all of it.
The Matrix.
The Matrix. So,
wow, okay.
And speaking of gun fu.
Which Matrix?
The first one. Because it got all convoluted in 2 and 3. Only the first one. The first one gets you excited.
Reloaded had a hell of a lot more action.
It did have a lot more action scenes. And then it also confused the hell out of you.
And Matrix 1 didn't?
No. Because Matrix 1 was hackers.
Okay. State your case, sir.
All right, no, it was a great film, and it's like it went from following a person through a journey, like, okay, I live my life a certain way, and then I've been told by these people that this is not the real world, and am I believing this is just a made-up thing? It almost reminds me of what's the Mars with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
The Mars, the Total Recall?
Yeah, it reminds me of Total Recall. It was like, is this a dream kind of deal? But like, you go on a journey with Keanu Reeves through this, and you know, you see through his eyes, not knowing what's really going on, but just kind of going in. I know kung fu, and it's like you move with him, and at the point where he realizes that this is his destiny, he accepts it, and it's like, this is an amazing film. The Wachowskis kind of just screwed it up with 2 and 3, but the first one will live on forever.
Okay, you know what? That's a good list.
All right.
That's a very good list. I'm questioning the Constantine pick, but it's all right.
Because you've never seen Constantine.
Because I've never seen it, so it's all right. So
and you've never seen John Wick either.
I've seen 1.
You see what? How you gonna watch 3?
I already saw 3. Well, part of it. And
so how do you know
amazing?
How do you know what's going on in 2?
Who cares? 3 was amazing.
2 was amazing.
Number 5. My number 5 starts with Shane Falco. The Replacements.
I knew you were gonna pick that. I knew you were gonna pick
that. That is one of, if not, no, you know what? That is one of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies of all time. All right. We used to watch that movie every single freaking day, and it never got old. We laughed at the same time, all the time. Every time we saw that damn movie, Favreau was freaking gold in that movie. Everything about that movie was great. The coming together of the team, the pretty much the message that you know what? Yeah, you can have all the Super Bowl rings, you can have all this, but if you don't have heart, you don't got nothing. Right. And that's what pretty much what Keanu Reeves was in this movie. He was the heart of the movie. He was the heart of the team. And Gene Hackman and him were freaking awesome together.
Except you'll have money.
Yeah. That was my number 5. Number 4. Number 4 was The Matrix. Part 1.
What? Number 4?
Now, granted, The Matrix actually gave you a different way to look at film when it comes to the shots that it chose. Having multiple cameras shooting at the same time in all different angles. Yeah. And having that kind of footage just slowed down. And, I mean, everything about that whole special effects and sequences was just freaking flat out groundbreaking.
By the way, that technology they instituted in the Super Bowl. That's how groundbreaking that was. Yeah. They did that whole thing where they do the bullet time on catches and they do the whole. I was like, that's how innovative that movie was. That they rolled it out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you know what? You had never seen it before. That movie came out in what? 99, 2000, something like that?
99.
So, you know, to have something like that that's not even in the 2000s or anything, to be groundbreaking as much as The Matrix was as far as cinema, filmmaking, and all that good stuff. Just amazing movie. Right. The acting was great. You look at Carrie-Ann Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, who was freaking phenomenal as Morpheus.
Who's Morpheus in John Wick 3?
But then you got, but Keanu Reeves' performance and taking it to another level from what he started in Speed and taking it to another level going into the sci-fi genre was just freaking awesome. So, gotta give it to The Matrix. Number 3 was Speed. When you're looking at Bill and Ted's and you're looking at Parenthood and all of these woo movies that he was doing,
he did a lot of woo movies.
I think Point Break was the one that possibly started breaking him out of that, but I think Speed is the one that just bam took him out of the whole thing. So with Point Break, it's kind of equivalent to Point Break being Bad Boys for Will Smith. And Speed being Independence Day for Keanu Reeves. So, I mean, it's pretty similar to that. So I think that Speed in '94, when it came out, in the summer, it just took Keanu Reeves and how you perceived him as an actor to a whole different level. And he was borderlining McClane here because it was Die Hard on a bus.
It was that's what it was. Everything was Die Hard something.
Die Hard on a bus.
Die Hard on a plane.
Die Hard on a boat. 50s. Yeah. Die Hard on a plane was freaking
was 57. Under Siege was Die Hard on a boat.
Yeah, exactly. But he started with Die Hard on a bus. So I think that's what kicked it off. That actually broke him away from that kind of typecasting that he was in. So I credit Speed completely to that. Then you got awesome supporting actors with Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels, and Joe Morton in that with him. So
I really like
Sandra Bullock. Hello, Sandra Bullock. Made a star out of her. Why she did part 2, I don't know, but
because she needed the money.
Yeah. Speed 2.
Search for more money.
Search for more money. So that was my number 3.
Miss Congeniality hadn't come out yet.
Number 2. It's John Wick 1.
Because that's the only John Wick you've seen.
Dude, John Wick 1.
Because of the puppy, sir. Because of the puppy.
The puppy and
it was touching, but I think John Wick 2 was better.
And animal rights is what it's all about. John Wick actually, just like Terrence said when he was talking about the whole gun fu and the action sequences that were really reminiscent of the John Woo Hard Boiled and all that good stuff, mixing in some action sequences of The Raid and all those kind of movies. You just saw Keanu Reeves in a completely different light. So that's the one that started it. It came out of freaking nowhere because nobody expected him to be what he was in that movie as an assassin. And when you're looking at it from a substance standpoint, as far as you kind of get in touch with your sentimental side, even the freaking main bad guy said, anything but the dog, man. Basically, it was like, if you kill anything you want, man, I'll buy you all the dogs you want, man. Please don't kill my son. So, you just looking for what it was, and it was just groundbreaking, just like The Matrix was. And, so I got to have it at number 2.
Started franchise.
Number 1! Number 1, I got to go with Parabellum. I got to go with John Wick 3. That movie, dude, I'm sorry. I have not seen John Wick 2, so I have
got to see John Wick 2. I don't even know how you watch John Wick 3 and not watch John Wick 2.
But when you compare it to John Wick 1 and seeing, I'm pretty sure that there was a hell of a lot more character development in part 2, but you see the finished product more or less in part 3, and just the antique shop alone, that scene alone.
A lot of action, but like you got to learn so much more about John Wick as a character, and two, then you got to learn.
You're absolutely right, and I agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is that when you look at it and you think about movies, like I said, like The Raid, like Dread, which is basically the same movie, and you think about the action sequences in The Raid 2 in the kitchen, and you just look at it and how it's filmed, the choreography, and how it's just non-stop. I would probably say, and this is a really dumb comparison, but I'll take it. It's okay. You can hit it in the comments. Is the continuous choreography that Winter Soldier and Cap did in Part 2, that it was non-stop, that is mixed in with The Raid. That's what I thought of the antique shop scene.
Okay.
You know, and then
well, everybody's trying to redo that. Everybody's trying to redo.
It's amazing. It's a freaking great sequence.
Everybody's trying to redo that. Well, and The Raid can't even take credit for it because it's really from Old Boy. Everybody's trying to redo that hallway scene.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
But besides that scene and the brutality of that scene, the entire movie itself is just nonstop. And like you said, Halle Berry does have a really memorable scene.
I literally saw her in the trailer and I was like, why is Halle Berry in this film? And when I saw her scene, I was like,
I know why Halle Berry's in this
film. I was like amazed. Spoiler, like the dogs, man, the dogs. I was like, I wish I could train my dogs to do this.
So yeah, man, and then it does set up Part 4, cool. But I think as a 3, and there aren't that many good 3s. Now, early in our show, early in our tenure, we had done best Part 3s.
I know. So we add this to the list now.
It's very limited on the best Part 3s, and this has to go down as one of the best. But as far as the franchise is concerned, with the character already developed, yeah, you get to see pretty much full on what he's developed into. Okay. I'm gonna give it to John Wick.
All right.
Honorable mentions.
I picked one I knew you weren't gonna have, and I figured you probably hadn't even seen it. Was Man of Tai Chi.
I have not seen the Man of Tai Chi.
Yeah, you haven't seen John Wick 2. Why would I expect you to? So Man of Tai Chi.
John of Tai Chi.
This is one of the only films I could think of where Keanu Reeves is the actual villain. He's the actual villain, and this Asian actor is the protagonist of the film, and he's kind of pulling the strings on these illegal fight rings, where they're making money and stuff like that. And it's still Keanu. You can't really take him that serious as a villain, but it's like I think he does a good job where he still continued on the Matrix martial arts aspect. It was like, well, I've been training doing Matrix for so long, I might as well keep up the practice. So you still get to see that aspect from it because it's basically rolling on after Matrix Part 3. But the villain aspect in him, and I was like, hey, I'm glad you did something different. And it's really weird to see him as a villain, but he sells you enough. He sells you enough on that one. All right, so other one, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm not a big Bogus Adventure fan.
I'm not a big Bogus Adventure fan. Even though Sadler had his moments. William Sadler as Death had his moments.
Yeah, he did. But Excellent Adventure is a better film to me.
Man, Carlin was gold.
Yeah, Rufus, I miss him. I miss Rufus. What are they gonna do about that when they do the reboot or the sequel?
The sequel, they're supposed to reference it.
Okay. Because that's been my biggest thing, and I was like, what are they gonna do? And it's like, so they finally made it to the future, and Rufus is dead.
Well, isn't he already dead? And he goes on like he's.
Did he die in Bogus Adventure?
No, wasn't he already dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's just from the future. He's just from the future. Right, I'm not from hell. I'm from the future.
Funny Constantine.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
You're gonna do such good things, guys. You're gonna make this song that unites the world, and then you're gonna do a movie called Constantine. Yeah. All right. So and then Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic. That's
great effects.
Great effects. Groundbreaking effects from when it came out. Not so good now. But the whole thing about having people as a storage thing, and I think it was the precursor to the Matrix.
Neo-mnemonic.
Yeah, it was Neo-mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Which, and by definition, Neo means like a beginning to something. So, hey. Good wordplay. So, and that one was a favorite film of mine when I was a teenager. I would watch Johnny Mnemonic quite a bit. That one in Strange Days. I watched that in Strange Days quite a bit because
Angela Bassett.
Yeah, Angela Bassett. So, but yeah, I watched this one and God, it was Ice-T was in it too. And it's like you gotta hack your mind, man. I miss this movie. I might actually watch it again. The CGI is gonna be horrible, but I might watch it again just for the Ice-T scene.
Nah, give me Ice-T and Ricochet. All right, my honorable mention starts Mr. Johnny Utah himself. Point Break, baby.
Point Break.
Point Break.
Patrick Swayze was more of this movie.
I don't care. Like I said, it was the beginning of breaking away from the world.
Though I did pick Devil's Advocate, and that was more Al Pacino than Keanu Reeves.
And I got Devil's Advocate, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure all day. You know the little movie called Street Kings?
I never saw it, and I wanted to see it when it first released. I wanted to see it, but never got around to seeing it.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was actually pretty good. It's on video now, obviously, so you can go check it out. Good cast on that. And I don't care what anybody says, and it's a bit part, and he was barely in it. Okay, I get it, but freaking Parenthood, baby! I've got to throw Parenthood on there. That's one of my favorite freaking movies.
With Steve Martin,
and amazing. You want to talk about ensemble? We did ensemble.
Nobody put in Parenthood.
We didn't put Godfather, and we didn't put Parenthood. Maybe because those two are another level.
There you go.
Parenthood.
There you go. They're beyond ensembles.
Yeah, they're beyond ensembles when you got Godfather and Parenthood.
Hey, nobody else mentioned it either.
It's family. The family. Either way, Keanu was freaking gold in that movie too. He had a very small part, and you could see a lot of Ted in the character. But regardless, hey, I love Parenthood, so who cares?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Terrence, take us home.
All right, so if you're watching this and blowing our minds by clicking this video like you did with our last Body Swap film,
which I have no clue why, but okay.
I have no idea. I really thought that was a throwaway video, which is why it took me so long to edit it. But I'm glad that you guys are now actually viewing our videos in such a high capacity. So if you're seeing this one right now and it's the first time that you're on the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other things that we post on the channel besides just top fives, podcasts, WTF, Rule of Two, and You Don't Hate. All that good stuff that we do on the channel, so that way you're aware of it. I'm not sure if this one's gonna have a scandalous thumbnail like all the other ones, but we'll figure it out.
We want to thank you, our Twitter followers, for actually picking this top five. Please hit me up on Twitter, hit them up on Facebook on the next top five that you would like for us to do. There's plenty to do. I've gotten a request for Robert Downey. Top five, so that's in there.
Sherlock Holmes, Avengers, Iron Man.
2, 3.
I don't have 2 more.
Keep sending it to us because we really like doing these things. Even if the
one when he was a jerk in the mall.
We're at science.
There you go. We're at science.
Bradford and Art, where the hell they're at? I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And we'll see you next time. Damn, Terrence, don't poke me in the eye with that thing.
Man. What the hell is that?
Okay, I got it. All right, ready?
Oh. It's a Jameson bottle.
No, I put it in.
Oh.
All right, let's go.
I was like, what is that? We're already recording.
3, 2, 1.
All right, is this on?
Is this on? Is this on?
We're back.